Hi, my name is Dr. Kerry Tapuzian, and this is Ask Dr. T. Today's question is in regards to some tips on weight loss. Now, let's talk about something that's a little bit abstract to start out with. We've got two different animals here. We've got a cheetah, one of the leanest animals on the planet, one of the fastest animals on the planet. What's it eat all day? Meat. That's all it eats, meat all day long. Then you've got an elephant, one of the largest animals on the planet. What's it eat all day? Leaves and grass, okay? So you've got this guy up here is basically on a modified Atkins diet, and this one down here is eating salads all day, all right? Where should humans be? I mean, we really should be somewhere in between. You know, you can't sit there and just eat salads all day, and you can't eat meat all day. You know, man was meant to be somewhere in the middle. So what's one of the main things that controls our body weight? And it's basically metabolism, our body's metabolism. And there's two basic areas that control metabolism. One is hormones, and the other one is our nervous system. And when we're talking about hormones, that's tip number one, balancing our hormones. And for the most part, the most important one to balance is our thyroid hormone. So it's very important to lose weight to make sure that your thyroid hormone is balanced, just so that you're on an even playing field with the rest of the world so that you can lose weight. There are other hormones too, actually. You have to, your sex hormones are very important. For a woman, it would be estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. For a man, it would be testosterone. And then there's also your stress hormones, which you've probably heard a lot of commercials out there, which are also very important and should be tested as well. It's your cortisol and DHEA. So tip number one, make sure your hormones are balanced or you're just not going to be able to lose weight. Tip number two is detox or detoxification. And what do I mean by this? Well, you've got to realize that, we're surrounded by toxins. They're in the air, they're in the water we drink, they're in the food that we eat, unless we're just eating 100% organic. But, when they come and spray your lawn to kill the weeds, they're using herbicides, and that's a environmental toxin, and you'll notice they put those little signs out there, to keep your pets off it because, it's toxic, it's dangerous, okay? And you're going to get some of that in you no matter how long you wait before you go onto your grass. When you have them come and spray inside your house for insects, okay, those are pesticides. There's just a lot of different things. And what happens when you get a buildup of these toxins inside your body? The way that your body reacts is by decreasing metabolism or decreasing your body temperature, because that's how your body is reacting to those toxins to make it so the effects are the least as possible. So if you've got lowered metabolism, lower body temperature, what's going to happen? You're going to gain weight. So to lose weight, you got to detox. There's several ways to do this. There's some easy ways or complicated ways. The best thing to do is to find out what toxins are in your system. There's different testing that's available, either urine testing, hair analysis, because you're looking for different heavy metals like mercury, cadmium, aluminum, lead, antimony. And then you're also looking for some of the most common environmental toxins that are out there as well. So do the testing, and then depending on what shows up in your system, do the detox. Tip number three, very simple one, fiber, increase fiber content. If you just increase your fiber content by about 14 grams a day, okay, that's approximately 14 tablespoons, you'll decrease the amount of calories you absorb by about 10%. Simple to do. Some of my favorite forms of fiber, ground flaxseed, a juice that you can buy called guava juice, Guava, very tasty, very thick in fiber. Almonds is a really good source of fiber as well. And then there's, your fresh fruits and vegetables are also high in fiber too, including beans. Tip number four, eat breakfast. Very important to get your metabolism going, to have breakfast in the morning. And unfortunately, a lot of people skip breakfast either because they don't have time or they're not hungry. But again, it's very important to eat breakfast. And what's also important is to have protein in the morning. I can't tell you the number of people that don't eat protein or don't have enough protein in their diet, especially at breakfast time. Some really good sources of protein are eggs, and if you want to get really specific about the type of eggs, the free-range eggs are the best. They're even better than the quote-unquote organic eggs, because what they're doing with that is they're feeding the chickens organic grain, and you're really better off with the hens and the chickens that are out grazing out in the pastures. So that's a really good source. Another one is whey protein. And if you remember your rhymes, curds and whey, whey actually comes from yogurt. It's a very pure, easily digestible protein, and it also improves your immune system. Good source of protein. Another one, which are some simple things, like they have some good protein bars out there. Edamame, which are the soybeans that are still in the stalk. Boil them up, put some salt on them, really good source of protein. And then, of course, Alaskan salmon, which you can get fresh, or if you're on the go or want something to take at work, you can get them in the cans as well. Then one of my favorite sources of protein, and you have to develop a taste for it, are sardines. High in protein, high in the good oils, extremely inexpensive and good for you. But again, you have to develop a taste for those as well. Tip number 5, sleep. Most people don't get enough sleep. They figured when they were in college, all they needed was 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and they're still going that way. But unfortunately, most people need about 7 or 8 hours of sleep. And the thing about that is when you're sleep deprived, it increases your hunger. And also, growth hormone, one of the hormones that helps you with weight loss, is actually produced at night while you're sleeping. So if you're not sleeping, you're not producing as much of that hormone. Tip number 6, water. Most people don't drink enough water, and it's very cleansing. If you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking half of your weight in ounces. That would be 100 ounces for someone weighing that much. It's a lot of water. It's hard to do, but the more water you drink, the better off you are. That's not it. We've got some more. Food allergies. If you have certain food allergies, it will cause you to gain weight. The most common food allergies are to wheat, actually the protein that's in wheat called gluten. Corn is very common, and also milk allergies. And this is something that you should be tested for. And if you do come back positive, by staying off of these different allergens, it will be a lot easier for you to lose weight. Now, you may or may not have noticed that I haven't even talked about really, too much about diet, exercise, and vitamins, because that's really only a part of it. There's a lot of different aspects that you have to look at when losing weight. And that's one of the reasons why every year there's more books that come out on weight loss, there's new programs. There isn't one good way to lose weight for everybody, and it all depends on what your situation is and why you're having a problem with it. And these are some of the different tips that you would look for to see, what exactly is the cause of my problem. Regarding diet, one of the best things to look at is you want to eat foods that are low glycemic. Okay, you want to eat things that aren't the simple carbohydrates. A way that I like to think of it is that if your great-great-great-grandmother was sitting next to you while you were eating, if she doesn't recognize the foods that's going into your mouth, then you shouldn't be eating it. All right? Exercise is very important, but you got to remember you've got to do something that you enjoy doing, or else it's just going to be a chore for you. Find something that you enjoy doing, okay, and it'll be easier to do on a daily basis if you can. Vitamins, there are different supplements that can also be very helpful for weight loss. For example, green tea extract is thermogenic, which means it increases your metabolism. There's also some other vitamins out there, or supplements, if you will. One's called carnitine, another one is called CLA. But these are things that, depending on what your goals are and what your levels are of different nutrients, are things that can be added to this program. So, is this a holistic approach? Is it alternative, complementary? Is it voodoo witchcraft medicine, or is this common sense medicine? My name is Dr. Kerry Topouzian, and this has been Ask Dr. T.